not cold. It's not cold.
Hi, Dee. How are you? It's good to see you.
Guys.
How are y'all doing?
It's not cold.
He likes to say that because it's a little clip he showed me one time that he was very entertained by. About the third time he repeated, "It's not cold," I was like,
Yeah,
I don't really think it's funny.
Mandi will tell you, like I'll say something over and over and over, and she'll just go, "Dude, the first 29 times got on my nerves. Now it's."
I know, but he doesn't say the same to me. You guys, I tried to match my lipstick to my nails, and I don't have the same color, but these are first world problems.
Look, we had a Yelp. I was looking at the ads.
We have a Yelp review. Excuse us while we try to. I can't even find my own channel, you guys.
What was that movie? Excuse me while I whip this out. What movie was that? What movie was that?
I bet Andy would know.
Excuse me.
I can't even oh, here it is. Okay. So, hey, Red Reindeer. How are you? Thank you. I love when I wear red and y'all compliment me, and y'all could totally just be
good, though.
You could be just saying that you like the red because they're like, she looks
so
dumb.
just
but
think
I
about
fall for it.
If you get home from work and you're like laying on the bed,
Karen,
you know, catching your breath or whatever, just had dinner,
your breath.
worked a long day, and she walks out of the bathroom and is like, "Hey, babe," it's like,
oh my god. Anyways,
she's the beauty.
It's very sweet.
She's a beauty.
Lisa Wu, hey, chiming in. Blazing Saddles.
Is it excuse me or pardon me? Pardon me. Excuse me while
what was
I
he
whip
talking
this
about?
out. It was something.
Not like that though.
Well.
It was that?
No.
Oh, okay. Hey Luna, how are you? So I'm glad that Karen's here because those of you who know Karen, she has either met someone famous, like anyone that you can think of, she has crossed paths, she's owned a restaurant, anything that you name, and she's totally done it. What I found out, I knew that it was a talent, but I didn't know to the extent. Karen was quite the accordion player.
Accordion, y'all.
Karen, tell us what it was that you were good at playing. It was like the beer polka or something, something like that. She took lessons for a very long time, and she was very good at it. And it was made for her stature.
Electric accordion.
Yeah, Karen has a.
She's like, not true. I don't know.
Her youngins, they are very musically talented. So I was like, I know she got it somewhere. So, and then not to be upstaged, Loretta has also been
Luna.
Absolutely priceless. So I get this crack in my heel. And those of you who get it know, like when you get one, it's a very like deep crack and you try to heal it and it's hard to heal. And it will even split beer barrel polka. There you go. That's what she played.
You guys write that down. Beer barrel polka.
And not only that, she said,
listen to that.
She said, I played a mean barrel. I was like, ooh.
A mean one, not just a normal one. Like
so, it cracks. And like, even when I went and got a pedicure yesterday, I had to tell him to be careful with it. And I've been to the doctor. It just won't heal, right? And like, if I step on something wrong when it's really bad, it'll actually bleed. So you know what Loretta gave me the idea to do? That she got from her husband. She said, super glue it. And I said, what? And she said, super glue it. And I was like, you know what? Let me try that. And I did it, and the pain is gone. Now, I don't know if it's going to help it to heal, but I put crazy glue right on it. Sean was doing whatever Sean was doing, and he looked over and goes, you're crazy gluing your foot. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I had to top it off today, but the pain is gone. It's kept it from being so split. So super glue. Who knew? There you go. Interesting.
I'm off for the next 2 days.
He is. He's off for the next 2 days. That's pretty remarkable, you know? Hey, Andy. Horses, feet, a few other. Okay. Andy, sometimes I watch those things where the guy files down the hooves, or if they have an abscess, he finds it and treats it. Those are relaxing. What?
Oh, he puts super glue on the horses' feet?
The horses, yes. Luna's off for the next 4 days.
Wow. I mean, so normally I'm supposed to be off Friday and Saturday, but they'd have to switch me so it would be Thursday and Saturday. But we work it out, man. I'm like,
She's 100% correct. Karen said, I didn't read the first part of the text and opened it, and Mandy's saying, thank you, Loretta. I put the glue in my crack. Yeah.
better not
That
go
is
down.
what it said. You never know what's going to go on in that group thread. Quarter cracks, cracked horse. Do you subscribe to the people, Andy? The ones that file the horses? It's very, for those of you who are animal lovers like us, at first, you know, they'll show the horses having trouble getting around, and then they sedate them or whatever, and they work on their foot and they drain the abscess.
When they have
stitching,
abscess,
and
those
then-
are like
then-
drain like half
the
gallon of shit that
And
comes
then
out
they
of
do
them.
whatever. They put like a little fake thing on it, and it's awesome to watch the horse then walk.
Yeah.
So it's
Sometimes
pretty
it's cows that they take that when they get the abscess, or they have like some
yeah.
massive cyst like on the side of their leg, and they blance it, and it just pours out of them.
Yeah.
But I hear that's like instant.
Yeah.
It
It's like
just takes
with,
the-
yeah. Stitching, hey, how are you? I don't do it myself. I'll send you. I would love that. There's
Hey,
people
stitching.
that do that. They have like, there's some of them that have millions of subs, and it's people who watch them file or treat horses' hooves.
Oh, Luna, yeah. See, Luna must have one of those federal jobs because Monday's a holiday.
Doesn't matter for Sean, he still has to go
some
in.
of them have Fridays and Monday off. Like the Army, I think has Friday and Monday off.
Do they?
I think that
They always try to piggyback.
my stepson, I think, does not go back to work till Tuesday.
Do you know why I was talking about horses' hooves? Sawyer has a hoof that he chews on that he barely pays attention to, but I was talking about horses' hooves. He went and found it and brought it in here. He is incredibly smart.
Yeah.
I had a horse with strangles once.
I
and had an abscess in his.
we have
my
our friend-
gosh.
we have our friend Stitching here. I was about to, like, later on in the chat, we're going to talk about things like I was going to put it in my vlog. Y'all, I just posted a vlog on Tomahawk, Sean. We're going to talk about a lot of the things that I talked about in the vlog, but it's up, and
He recorded it yesterday.
I recorded it yesterday, but there was some things that transpired where the timing was better that I released it today.
It was.
It was perfect timing. We will get into those.
So,
But what I was going to say is, when we're talking about
hey, Melinda, it's
who
good
we,
to see you.
following and how serious people take YouTube and this and that, and friendships on YouTube and this and that, I say the azimuth is,
Hey, Paula, Marilyn.
if they take YouTube away
Paula,
for whatever, if YouTube goes down for a few days or a week, and Twitter and all that, everybody that would you lose touch with anybody that you can't get in touch with? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's Paula's second. Yeah, go ahead.
you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the azimuth, like if they took YouTube away, are you still able to get in contact with, you still have access to people that you want to have access with? That's a good thing, because the point is you have them all in there, like they have your phone number, you have them on something else. So if YouTube went away, that's what my point. But I thought about it, and one person that I don't have, like their number to text them or to keep up with them is Stitching Girl. She's in my DMs and our DMs with a treasure trove of information. That's one name that I would miss.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
I know I just looked, it's Paula's second account, which is awesome. I can't add a moderator from my iPad. Karen, can you add the moderator from your side?
Can I do
Maybe
it from
you
here?
can do it on your phone.
I think I can do it right here.
No. Oh yeah, you can. There you
Okay.
go. All right, cool. I verified that it was you
Which
got
one?
Yeah, it
Okay.
doesn't matter. Okay, so you have quite a few people on your second channel. Whoa, subs. The other day, how many did you say she had? Like 4,000 on her main channel?
Who?
Paula.
Yeah, she good.
It's pretty
No,
cool.
close to 5.
That's awesome.
Close to 5.
Because she's out there doing the Lord's
Yep,
work.
the
You know what I
Lord's
mean?
work, yeah.
Thank you, Karen. Karen put a link to your vlog.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll keep doing them, but it's a new one. Tomahawk Sean. It's been about 6 or 7 months since I did one.
It had been that long?
Yeah.
I didn't know it had been that long.
Yeah.
So those of you, how many of people have been seeing people around the community today talking about the crazy EPO that Samantha tried to file?
It was some
against Clara?
bullshit.
I happened to be on the phone with Clara when she got served a little over a
That's
week ago.
crazy that
And she wasn't served. The mailman brought it because Sammy's cheap. It was like, so it was heard today. Much to people they don't know, I don't exchange information. So I've known about this for a while. I knew it was coming. I knew that it was a joke. I knew that it was out in left field. It was not drawn up or filed by an attorney. It was not made by Lisa Manning. She went pro se.
Okay, so listen to that. Lisa Manning, who's supposed to be their attorney over there, had no idea, apparently, I'm giving away that we know a little bit about it, had no idea that Sam had filed this EPO.
Yeah, had no idea. So she wasn't there today when it was heard.
Because she's not really their attorney. That's the point I'm making.
She is on the copyright.
Yeah, but
it's so weird. She's
it's
so weird.
It's
Lisa,
so
stop.
weird.
You need
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. So it was filled with these rambling, incoherent things. Sam was trying to tie Arabia to this huge intimidation technique that Arabia was being used to intimidate Sam, and that was threatening her person. What are you talking about?
Here's the thing. Sometimes when we talk about this a little bit, we're sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, what is Sam thinking right now? Like when Mandi shows you what she has here, I mean, Sam had like what 30 some crazy amount of exhibits.
She was still submitting them
when the judge said enough.
Yeah, it was the judge. It took the judge about 3 minutes to throw it out. But some people would say, well, Mandi, what does that have to do with you? I thought you wanted Sam to leave you alone and move on. And well, she even put yours truly in the crazy filing. I'll read it in a second. But
read it. This is one of her exhibits today.
So I'm gonna use the name Arabia. I don't even think this is her legal name. Arabia goes by a couple different names, so she put the other. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But it says Frank learned about Arabia, meaning, but she put the other term. And my history with her sometime on or about December the 22nd, 2022, when Mandi Curley, and then she put my address, contacted Frank on her now terminated YouTube channel and left a public comment that read, DM me and I will get you the goods.
Y'all remember that?
And then in bold, y'all, this is the bold part. Pay attention.
This is an exhibit that Sam...
No, this is in the legal document.
Oh, it's in the legal document.
Curley has since asserted publicly that the goods she provided to Frank were Arabia's phone number and formal introduction between Frank
and a formal introduction.
And Arabia. What is a formal introduction? Considering I've never met any of these people in person.
Here's the thing, Sam. Let's put some perspective on this. Sam served an EPO, an emergency protection order against DC Media Girl, Clara. What the fuck for? Yeah. That's the thing.
And then the last sentence says, y'all always are free to talk about whatever in the chat. I don't want you to think that you can't, that you have to undivided talk about this.
They talk about
no, but I want to make sure they know that. Curley put Frank in contact with Arabia in December of 2022, knowing the details of our Meade County Order of Protection from 2020. Do you know what that order of protection was?
That you lied and said that you were fucking her.
Stop. That you were in a relationship with Arabia. No, it's cool. It's fine. But I was like, no, I don't mind.
Out of left field.
I was like, I like that soundbite. We're going to use that in our intro. So they were not. They were, I was like, they were never in a relationship at all.
She lied to the judge.
Well, the other day I was talking about Tiny. I was like, Tiny was fucking, and then you're like, what?
She was doing what?
It was kind of like that. Sam went and lied in court because she had a falling out with Arabia, and she was afraid that at that time Arabia's going to look that ass. Arabia has had no contact with her, nor does she give a shit. She does not care. But so she lied and said they were in a relationship. But what's funny is she was also in a relationship with Yaba when this was going on. So it's like, which is it, Yaba? You're okay with the fact she cheated, or you don't believe it, but you let her do it? What's the difference?
I'm sitting here the whole time when I find out that. So one of the exhibits is this. This is the exhibit. She posted a whole vlog of Mandi and I's. Remember the vlog that we did the live a while ago where I was wearing the Fleetwood Mac shirt? That's what the thumbnail is.
She didn't clip pieces from it. She
But
submitted
the whole stream.
The whole stream as
Our
evidence.
live stream.
And nobody, and everybody was like, we're not going to listen to this. This is ridiculous. She didn't even clip it. Like, she was just maniacally submitting these exhibits, trying to make something stick.
But the more that all right, let me say my first thing too, because I'm all over the place. I'm sitting here, once this all came to fruition today, I was pretty certain, almost completely certain, that the judge was going to listen to this for about 3 minutes and throw it out. And that's what happened.
Well, no, they had to listen to longer, but it took 3 minutes for them to render judgment.
To render judgment. But, before that all happens, when you find out something like this is about to happen, you sit there and you think, what the fuck could this other person have over there what is going through Sam's head that she, first of all, would file an EPO against Clara, right? Sam will sit there and stream with Clara's picture, on the wall behind her. I'm thinking, what is she? It's sort of like a huge disrespect to the legal system.
For those of you who haven't seen it, when Sam was in one time doing a live stream and she had that stupid snow hat on, she has a picture hanging of Callie on one side and Clara on the other side, hanging on the wall. And apparently they've been there for over a year. So how did you go into court with a straight face trying to make people think you were scared of Clara when you're the crazy ass that has a picture behind you?
If push literally came to shove and that judge said, okay, we're going to continue this and we're going to look at it further, I didn't get it. And then when I started to find out what some of the exhibits were, like us being in there, and I'm like, what do we, there was a term. Sam does not know anything about evidence.
Nothing.
And, she does not know court.
You can
Going in there and talking about shit talking on the internet on a YouTube channel is not evidence.
Well, and to say, she was using this past friend of mine as a form of intimidation. Based on what? Where is your wet evidence of that? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And I'm sitting here going, how high did Sam have to be? What is her frame of mind? She's like, I'm going to sue that bitch. I'm going to sue. And I'm going to put all these exhibits together. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to use this person. All these YouTube figures. On
Rumble is where Clara did her stream. And she read most of the document. And then she posted it on her Twitter. I haven't seen it. But so here, this is my question. I think that anybody who cooperates and helps information to do something like serving someone who just pissed them off with an order of protection and wasting the court's time is fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
It's really, Sam Telfer has shown time and time again that she doesn't care about anybody. She does not care about the court system. She does not care about the people that follow her. She's screwed over every single person that's ever had a kind of alliance with her. I don't understand why. I understand a little bit because I was married to a psycho before. But I just, when you sit there and you come up with this, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Now, one of the other things I wanted to point out was, of course, DC Media Girl hired a lawyer. She's got the ways and the means and the ends to retain counsel for anything at this point. Good for her. I don't understand why Sam thought it was a good idea to go in there pro se.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That's the stupidest thing. Now, here's why. You got to have a bit of fiscal responsibility about you if you're going to sue somebody as preposterously at all. But as preposterous as this was, you might have want to had a lawyer. It just goes to show a little bit about how that brain of hers works. Y'all let her over there showing off like multi-$1,000 dogs, right? They're buying dogs and stuff, and
they're going to breed them and make them live.
They're buying all kinds of expensive printers, I hear, and this and that. How about what's that dog cost? $9,000, they said.
Yeah,
you could have taken a third of that and retained a lawyer.
Yeah.
You're
That
talking
might have
about-
figured out how to word it better.
Or, would at least know how to file it.
Or your buddy Manning. She did it last
You know,
time. Why
look,
can't
take
she
it
do
from
it this
me.
time?
When you have...
Right, Sarah?
When your life is all fucked up and you want to sue
Thank
people
you,
and you're in
Karen.
and out of court, I used to have to literally pay an attorney about $500 or $600 every single month at one point in my life, just because that's what you have to do. If you're going to constantly be in trouble, if you're going to constantly go to court, you have to. She went in there pro se. To flex like they flex with, bulldogs and printers and this and
Engagement
that.
rings.
Engagement rings and this and that. It's a total freaking L that
Right.
you wouldn't even drop
Hey, X-Event.
even $50 towards this case that is an emergency protection order.
And someone brought up she must be coaching the other one. When
Exactly
TT
right.
tried to file that bullshit against
Yes.
us, she was coached by Sam.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Didn't win then. Doesn't
When you
win
look
now.
at how this happened, if you go over
Presley.
there and watch DC Media Girl, if you get on Rumble, give it a watch.
The link, Karen put
Yep.
the link in here.
And as we were listening to this happen, when my ex-wife tried to sue us, almost 5 years ago now, 4 years ago.
Been a long time
Yeah.
ago now.
It is almost the same playbook.
And then she couldn't get her to get it
Yep.
together then. No evidence. That's where
yeah.
Sam falls short. Like she's got a binder of small claims
Minutia.
wins where she basically fucked over small time people who she owed money to.
Mm-hmm.
So she found some sort of like reason and showed up to court and would find something so that it would have to be thrown out. That's not anything impressive.
No,
Sorry,
it's not.
it's not. You're just a hustler and a loser.
It's a
That's
lot,
what you are.
and I'm going to say this based on the dubious fact that I've been in court a couple times. It is way easier to defend yourself than it is to litigate.
But here's the other interesting thing. I don't know I think it might have been a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Yaba tried to get a protection order against Ron, against Gags.
Yes.
Okay.
Ron was pro se, right?
Right. So, Manning was the attorney for this case, right? Shows up. Not only does, Manning not win on behalf of her client, Ron, who had no counsel, won. So when you win a pro se case against an attorney, why would the attorney, if they didn't have the evidence, why would the attorney proceed to court?
That's a lousy fucking
so
attorney.
If you have the attorney because they drew up this petition and you have an attorney, you would assume the attorney had the evidence they needed to take it to court, but managed to get it thrown out because there was no merit to it. It's so strange
It's
to me.
really weird. I use the word a flex.
Yes.
Over there in Indiana with Yaba and Sam, they're going to have you or have their folks believe that they're making ends meet and this and that, and they're going to do all this stuff, and then they don't even have an attorney for an EPO. An EPO is a pretty serious thing. I mean, when we went into, when there was an EPO against me, that person wanted a continuance. He was even dumber. But that might have even been a smarter move than what Telfer did.
That was just called Sunday special, trying to file shit against Sean. That was their whole marriage.
Yeah, Sunday specials. It took me a long time it took me a long time.
And I say that in all love, but I'm like, that was just
you
a Sunday
guys
afternoon.
sat there and watched it,
and they were never granted.
No. I can honestly say, like, I really can't recall a time where I went into court and really lost. And that's, why? Because I paid an attorney. As soon as I quit paying that attorney when I left, public defender, jail for the bitch. And, it's just if there's anything that I will ever say to anybody, my friends or anybody, my coworkers, anything at all, it's like, when you get into trouble, and certainly if you're going to litigate against somebody, the small claim is a little different. You always, 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 always get an attorney. There are attorneys that will take just as little as several $100s just to at least file it for you. Mm-hmm. And they won't be in court. They won't do that, but they'll at least file.
And one of the other claims that Sam made, I didn't print out what I had. I just did this part, but she said something about Clara keeps saying she's going to file things against me to scare me. That Clara keeps saying that she's filed something against me, and I call and she didn't. What? How does that make you scared for your...
Yeah, it's crazy. So honestly, truth be told, I sat back when I had the knowledge, when I became aware of this. I said, okay, you've got DC Media Girl, you got Claire over there that's had a little bit of a windfall, and then you have the YouTube underground, and I know Yaba's like, it's not the YouTube underground, it's Sam. It's my dumbass girlfriend Sam. But these two over here that sort of have the impression that they're making some dough and whatever, and then you got Claire over here who's I was thinking, oh, at least I never had for a minute thought that Sam could win, but I didn't think. Thank you, Red Reindeer. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that. I never did think that Sam would win, but I didn't think there would be a whimper like this. It was a mere whimper.
We've been in there when it's an absolute no evidence case, and it gets done, and the attorney sits there and or the judge goes, so based on the fact that I'm going to dismiss it. So they have to sit here and listen to this bullshit. When they know that it's going to be... They're not really going to look at a plaintiff that's full of shit and tell them they're full of shit. They're going to try to give... This is a court of law. I love Gone with the Wind, Presley.
They have to give them their dignity. You know, they're going to try to at least give them they say, I'm going to give you a chance to... at least in our case, it was.
It was.
I'm going to give you a chance. We even recessed and came back after lunch to give the plaintiff an opportunity to get whatever she could get, and she couldn't produce anything. Sam, on the other hand, just had a bunch of duds. She had exhibit dud, exhibit B dud, exhibit dud, little peanut. She didn't have one thing to show.
They also had to list all of the occupants to which, needed protection from this order. And was the entire household that she shares with Yaba was listed. And when I say every single person, I mean every single person.
I just read Red Reindeer says, jail for the bee. Sean,
that's what she said. She was like...
I'm reading that now. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, Presley, Gone with the Wind is my favorite movie of all time, followed by Titanic. So that's hilarious that you said that, because that is my all-time favorite movie. I used to be able to recite the entire movie from beginning to end. Years ago. I could lay in bed and do it.
Thanks. I'm like,
and
I was rolling and I didn't read your comment right off the bat, Red Reindeer, but I appreciate that. Am I on a roll tonight, Ben?
And EXO, I'm glad you have some time off for your pass for the weekend. That's awesome. You guys, little boy's back from Korea. He's back in Colorado. He got back the day that Toby Keith died, so it was good when they walked him into the gym. They always try to do some sort of little parade type thing whenever a deployment comes back. It's pretty teary when it's from Iraq and stuff. It's pretty, but they played courtesy of the red, white, and blue when they filed into the gym.
It's a big deal.
They didn't know yet that Toby Keith had died.
They didn't know. They didn't know. They were in transit from Korea. For those of you that didn't know, I think most people do know that.
Thank you, Red Reindeer.
Toby Keith was always so good to the troops.
Yeah.
And to the military, and he wrote 2 or 3 songs that American Soldier and the Red, White, and Blue, and he on his concerts, he quite frequently there would be a wife or a girlfriend waiting for their loved one to come home, and they would arrange when that loved one to come home, and she'd be at the concert, and he would bring them out.
And good on him for showing what cancer looks like all the way to the end. He was still every bit the magnificent, larger than life that he had always been, and he showed what it looks like. And I think that makes other people who face it's just a little less scary when you see someone who anyway.
Have you guys ever heard the song "Don't Let the Old Man In"? He wrote that.
Yeah.
And that we can't talk about it because I'll get teary eyed. But I listened to an interview about 8 months ago, and he didn't know he was going to die in a few days. He's had cancer for several years.
He wrote the song 4 years ago.
He wrote the song for an 88-year-old friend of his that was...
Thank you, Andy.
And you'd have to...
Andy, too, who's been there.
If you... Andy has. You got to see the interview, but you know when he passed away, it was trending everywhere. There was all kind of interviews about it, and he explains how he wrote that song. It was for a friend of his that was 88 years old and still making movies, was still producing movies, and you know the guy. He's like, "How do you still do it?" He says, "I just don't let the old man in."
It's a good song. You'll have to listen to it. But have a Kleenex ready.
No.
So yeah, and Andy has faced it. Andy does he talk about what type it was?
He can share it if he wants. The thing with my cousins too. With my cousin's cancer is Andy faced a cancer that had a very, very high mortality rate, babe. I don't know if you know that.
That's what I'm saying.
He had one that, you know, not a whole lot of people
12
walk
years
away
ago
from.
today, he had his kidney removed.
Yeah, and it was something that there's a lot of things in Andy's life that was sort of divine intervention. He knows he doesn't have to talk about them all. We know what they are,
one turned out to be an amazing little boy.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. And you know, that was never supposed to happen.
Yeah.
For him.
Andy is a freaking amazing dad.
Yeah,
he sat right by the pool while his little one was swimming or whatever, and remember he had his socks on. Andy, why did you have your socks on out there? I remember it was so cute, but maybe because it was hot or something.
Now you just got sticky feet.
No, but I was like, he was out there. It was so funny. But 87%
mortality in my.
Isn't that crazy?
And my cuz, he beat it, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things when you're trying to love on somebody when they're going through it. You don't think of that. I mean, and that social media has brought it to, you know, you can go to so many YouTube channels of people that document their cancer, and some of them win, some of them don't.
Wow.
But there's quite a few people, content creators out there that already had a YouTube presence when they were diagnosed. Mandy's watched a couple of them. What's the one that the Apple?
Jenny Apple. He's always like, why do you watch that sad stuff? And it's like, because I have so much respect for them, because they share their journey, even if it doesn't end the way that they hope it will, even, you know, if it's their loved one coming on and sharing their passing, it makes it less scary to me. And I appreciate it, because for people who have to face it, looking at it and watching, you know, the journey and watching how I don't know. It's just, I've got a lot of respect for it. Come here. I'm going to show you Sawyer before we get back to talking.
Come on, Sawyer. Come here.
Oh, he's being a brat. He's not going to do it.
I'm going to have to get him then.
So, but the long of the short of it is that case was absolutely 100% dismissed without evidence. Yes, Jenny and she went live just before she passed, and again, she was right there at the end, and she shared with us what was going on. Look.
Sawyer Brown right here. There's not very many dogs that a band has named himself after, but Sawyer Brown is one of them.
I've started calling him Downtown Sawyer Brown.
Downtown Sawyer Brown.
Downtown Sawyer Brown. Good boy. Oh, speaking of weird ass things that have happened today. So the Truth went live earlier, and she was talking about, you know, once again, Wendy said something that was construed as, you know, racist or whatever. I don't even know the details of it. It wouldn't surprise me if it was, but that's not the point. So they went live on One Win's channel and started playing. It was either the stream that she was doing right there, or it was an old one. And that didn't matter. That's not the point of the story. So, you know, Wendy's like, why would they do that or whatever? So Randy goes, well,
Randy's 3 sheets to the wind on 2 o'clock on a Thursday.
She doesn't know anything about men or relationships. And she goes, if I were to call Jim right now and say I broke my wrist, he would say, well, I'll see it after I get off work. But if I called him and said, let's get it on, he'd say, I'll be there in 15 minutes, start the bath. The fuck does that have to do with what she just said?
Guys, there's not a whole lot of guys in the chat. So that soundbite got sent to me, right? And you heard what Mandi said. So basically, she kind of put herself down and kind of put her husband down. She said, if I was sick or I had something wrong, like a broken bone, he says, I'll see you when I see you. You know, go get it, you know, go to the emergency room or whatever. But if they're going to get it on, he'll be right there. So basically said...
Don't use the foul word.
I won't. Basically, he said, if there's something wrong that I need for him to come take care of me or see over me, he's not going to do it. But like any male species...
Right, Karen?
Any male species out there, but she basically said, But if I offer up the goods, he'll come a running. That's like any male in any relationship,
And it was
in
totally-
any dog, any cat, any elephant.
It was totally out of place, like most of what she said, because Sean is his interpretation. She probably was, but it's whatever. But Wendy didn't know what to say.
Wendy, there was
this awkward pause, and then she went.
She cackled like a witch.
Andy is Sean's cousin, Presley.
I mean, but so do y'all get what I'm following? Like, I said, did she serious about this, or is this a soundbite that, people getting onto her about it? It's like, no, this is literally what she said.
It was about as weird as ATX got her vag waxed.
Yeah, I mean, but think about it. She basically said, "My husband won't take care of me. He's not gonna come see me unless I offer up sex."
Right? It was so weird.
And it's like,
and I was like, well, with that, I'm going to go back to another stream because
that's Randy being Randy,
and I know we get like sometimes like cringe talking about like we get it on or whatever. But that was the weirdest freaking, like, I was like, that didn't go the way I think she wanted it to come out. Anyway,
it sounded to me like
it was
so that
painfully
soundbite
awkward.
that it was painfully awkward. So you hear her say that. And she says it kind of with a little slur or whatever, and says that, well, my husband will come running if I give it to him, but if I'm hurt or I'm ill or sick, he just say, wait till I get home. That's basically what she said.
Charlie, I don't care. She's like, oh my goodness, she was joking.
But
we have an opinion.
We do have an opinion. We're not talking to you. We're talking about you. But I think that on top of that, to double down on it, it was the highly awkward cackle that Wendy gave after it. Like, Wendy had no idea what to do with that.
What's interesting, like, when people are like, oh, she was kidding. So this is what I always ask people. So though them as creators can talk about any, litany of other creators, talk about different things. They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. But nobody is supposed to critique them.
No.
Nobody.
No.
They can do it. Right?
I said it in my vlog today. The reason why,
but God forbid anyone think they're strange.
The reason why Randy and Wendy keep coming, number one, lately is because Diane's been handing that ass to him.
Charlie was timed out for 1.8 thousand seconds,
whatever that.
I didn't even know. I thought I meant to remove the comment.
That's like a sentence.
Can I change that?
I
really wasn't that upset about it. No. Anyway, go ahead.
So.
Karen, can you change it?
They've been kind of trending, I guess, in the YouTube, in our neck of the woods, because Diane's been routinely handing them their ass.
Yeah, it's
with
pretty
guest stars
beautiful.
and this and that. Speaking of, anyway.
Yeah, Wendy goes, draw you a bath, and she was like, well, I didn't want to,
even Wendy couldn't do anything with it.
And it's like I said, you could, sarcastic, not sarcastic. It was weird. And last time I checked, they've got no problem talking about what we do being weird. So. Touche. It's weird.
She could say she's joking, but it came out weird.
Thank you, Karen. I did it wrong. She fixed it for me.
Oh, for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't worth hiding over. I just meant to remove the comment.
I mean, even Charlie would have been like, "Can we not do 1.8
But Charlie, it's good to know
seconds?
You watch us. Speaking of, when Clara was live on Rumble, there was a Foodie Beauty in there. And I know y'all have differing things about Foodie Beauty. We're not going to go into that because I don't watch her because it's not that interesting to me. But I know there's people that just, whatever. Hey, this girl's journey.
Hey.
She was in her Rumble.
That's good.
She was right there going, saying, hell yeah, she finally, I wonder how Sam will spin it. If she ever does anything other than her ASMR videos, that is.
I don't know.
Oh, and I'm not saying this. This is what Clara said. I wasn't there. I don't know. She, this is what she said on a Rumble. That without filters, Samantha is all of 400 pounds, maybe more. Again,
which
no
we
fat
don't judge
shaming.
that.
I'm just saying what she said. And then, so there was like no filters or whatever.
You guys should, if you don't have Rumble, if it's, if you have Rumble, if you want to learn how to use Rumble, you can download Rumble and go over there and try it out with DC Media Girl's channel.
Yeah.
If you should. I mean, you like her or you don't like her, but she's a very good speaker. She knows how to do broadcast.
And that's another thing when people are trying to figure out where information comes from or where she would assume something or where she would say this. She was a journalist in the media for Fox News for a while. There was a few different things in Washington, D.C. for 30 years.
Even just by osmosis, if you work in that field, people talk and communicate a certain way in
Karen.
that field. Some of that's gonna rub off.
She was on one tonight. It was pretty.
Yeah, she's good. And Clara was, her channel on YouTube is gone, and really it's been kind of lame. It's not. I mean, it's not bad around here, but the drama genre was better with her doing live streams, but she's had to take it over to Rumble. So go check her out.
And it was cited all through the document, her now terminated channel.
Channel.
She didn't even have the evidence from the channel because it's been terminated. So I can just imagine the judge sitting there like,
no.
Can I say dismissed yet? No, hold on.
Nope, you've got to give it.
Can I say dismissed yet?
49 more seconds. We have to listen to her blab
There was
out about
something
8 more
crazy.
exhibits.
There was something crazy like 60 pieces of exhibits. Some of them were just little tiny clips where some random troll said something on Twitter and it was cropped out that nobody knows who it is. There's no, I know that there's someone who screeches all the time, authentication, but it is a thing.
But we have
so
to
if you can't find the channel where this stuff was said on because it's gone, then that you don't have the evidence.
We do have to give Lisa Manning one prop. She did tell, apparently where did we hear this? She said that she did not advise Sam to do this.
It was unwise.
Duh.
You need to cut that one loose, Lisa. I'm serious.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
you can be in their chats.
I wouldn't hire you to get me out of a traffic ticket, let alone.
Well, she went, and this is no offense to Negs.
I'd go pro. If it was between Lisa Manning or pro se, I don't care what it was about. I'd go pro se.
Negs went in there pro se and beat somebody that had a lawyer. That right there, and that's not a reflection of Negs at all. It's a reflection of the other person.
And Lisa is the one that had filed the motion for the EPOs. Like I said earlier, so you would think she had set eyes on the evidence she needed to make it work.
One basic rule that when you pick out, and once again, Mandi will tell you, I've had to pick out a couple lawyers here and there, a couple of divorces, a couple of defendants, a couple of plaintiffs. You want a lawyer. You want an attorney. It's pretty, man. You can just look it up. Look up something like, why is it not advised? Because people can represent themselves. And it's not just about that they're not a lawyer and they don't know law, even though that is the major thing. But the other major issue is it's biased. They know that they're not going to look at everything objectively. So if you've got an attorney that you're considering and she's slumming over there, if Mandi and I had an attorney that was in our chat all the time, and we said we probably would not be advised to use that person in a case that we're in.
At first, I would think it was a troll when it came in. I'd be like, this person certainly is not it. And when I found it isn't our attorney, I would promptly let them go. End of story.
I would imagine, so for the threat of me sounding a little bit like trying to be an attorney myself, I would, right off the bat, if I was in some major litigation in the courtroom against Lisa Manning and Yaba or Sam, right? The very first thing I would ask my lawyer is, she's up in there. Isn't that a conflict of interest?
Apparently it's not.
And that my attorney would either tell me yeah or no. Because
our attorney wanted nothing to do with the horse shit.
Not at all.
He wouldn't even listen if we talked.
Hey, Kelly. Kelly Huff is here.
I know. Hello. Yeah, it was
with a wrench.
With
Paula,
a wrench.
Now,
Wendy also has a wrench.
She could be
Samantha's chat.
She could be,
which is okay.
We're not doubting Manning's friendship, to Sam and Yaba. That's whatever. That's great, but it's just a lousy idea. It's a shit show that this one is considered.
And one of the things that Samantha has been peddling lately is she was selling a tumbler with her little fuck off forever list on it, which is people that she never ever wants to deal with again. And it's like a little spreadsheet, and then she prints the label and she'll update it weekly and send it, or monthly, and send it to you, and you put it on your 98-cent tumbler or whatever it was. Well, some of the names on that list are ones that are tied up in this copyright thing. When the prayer candles were being sold with Clara's likeness on them. So her attorney takes to Twitter, Lisa does, takes a picture with the Tumblr with
Yeah.
her little shit list on it and puts it on Twitter.
Yeah, so Sarah just dropped. This is Paula's Rumble.
Yeah, she
that is
does,
right.
Paula.
So we now have 2 good reasons to go check out Rumble. We have DC Media Girl. We have Paula's channel. Both of them are good vloggers. Both of them.
Rumble can be glitchy.
Yeah. And Moxie, does she have a separate channel on Rumble too?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
They can be dropped in
There's
here.
3.
I have
3,
to
3,
watch
3.
it on my laptop because it's so glitchy. But I do want to catch y'all. If you have something on Rumble, I just don't get notifications. If you want our kind in there. You know
Our
what I mean?
kind.
Yes.
And
Wendy,
Moxie just said it. And Moxie's. That's right.
so Wendy does have a wrench in there. And you know that Wendy, even if she didn't want to be seen with the wrench because she thinks that a lot of what she does are not that Samantha is somewhat, what would you say, uncouth in what she does. She would never tell her she didn't want to be a mod because she's scared.
It's so, but people know that. And that's
Thank you.
that's why, like I said in my vlog today, that's why Randy and Wendy, that's why we're kind of endeared to them. They are going to cling to the vestige that they are the moral high ground, or at least Wendy does.
Neither one of them would be taken in by anybody else.
No.
And the same thing, I guess, could be said
no one
for
really
us.
wants to.
Well, Karen would take me in. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
she
true.
would. Oh, and that was what I typed in there. I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told that judges absolutely can't stand someone who's pro se, especially when they're pro se filing something about their own bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you
Because
think you
they're
know
not
the law
objective.
well enough
And
to
that judge
file
will say,
this.
that judge will be like, do you want to do this? And the number one reason that the judge will say that is he says, you
Hey,
got to be
Aubrey, it's
objective.
good to see you.
You got to
Right.
be objective. And it's so hard. I think I'm great. I think you're great. I mean, I wouldn't want to be your attorney because I'm not an attorney because you hung the moon and stars as far as I'm
I
concerned.
see.
So you can't really.
And it's not easy.
Mhm.
Like, there's a reason why that they get a law degree and they have to pass the bar and things like that. There's a reason why every Tom, Dick, and Harry isn't a lawyer. We don't know the law.
And he
Samantha,
says
you don't know the
You
law.
don't know the law.
You don't know it.
And there
You're
was a
proving
time
this time and time again.
She's tumbled a far cry. 2
Yes,
years ago, she would get on
exactly.
there. 2 years
Bullhorn
ago,
thinks
she would.
exactly stitching.
Sam would tell you or have you believe that
Right,
she belongs in a
Sarah?
courtroom and this and that, and she sucks at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, sometimes I try to think about. I've said this over and over and over. What goes through her head? I just think she gets really high, and I think that she just thinks that she can do it. And there's other YouTubers I think that about too. They must be.
Well, you've been with someone who rolls out of bed and decides.
No,
to go
I
file
had
some-
to get really high to be
but,
around her.
But I mean that she woke up feeling some kind of way and
Right.
tried to go file
Right.
against somebody,
Right.
and then when reason returns, she doesn't want to be doing it anymore. Like,
Yep.
right? It's like it's. I can't. I would if I was absolutely in fear of somebody and it wasn't going to be an investigation where the prosecutor would take it on or whatever, and I was going to have to prove myself that this person through the evidence had made me fearful, I would hire a fucking attorney. I wouldn't go do it myself. If I
Especially if
was
it's
truly in fear.
You
If
go.
I was truly in fear.
If you're truly in fear,
It shouldn't be a civil case
No.
anyway, but whatever.
And if you're truly in fear, there's
Kathy!
got to be something that is causing you to be in fear. It's
Right.
not 60
If I
different.
would go to an attorney and I would say, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's where she said she's going to whatever, and I would hand it to an attorney and say, is this enough for me to
Right.
move forward with
Right.
an EPO? And they're going to
Right.
say yes or they're going to say no. But I wouldn't take 100 pieces of evidence where the person had pissed me off and try to convince
Right.
the judge it was grounds for an EPO.
Without an attorney, because you are pissed off. That is why you're here.
Yep.
You are biased.
Right,
You're
Sarah.
not in fear of anybody. You're pissed off at these
Mm-hmm.
people. That's why your lawsuit. An attorney would advise you. This isn't an emergency protection order. It's this. This
Mm-hmm.
person has damaged you this way. This is where. I mean, even Manning was like, she didn't advise
Yes.
Sam to do that.
You're right, Karen. Karen said they'll coach him along with patience. Our judge was so patient with the beast.
That's
He
a good point.
wanted to hear what she said. He
Yep.
told her, he said, since you don't know, you're not an attorney, this is how this works. if the witness is saying something that you don't agree with based on the law, you can say objection and then whatever. And so he explained it and he said now, and then they would go along and she would almost ask him like for legal advice. And he was like, I'm only here
Right.
to hear the whatever. And then when he went to render his verdict, some of you may not know that, and started to give it, the beast went objection. And he went, no, you don't object to me.
And that's another reason, because they don't know the etiquette.
And he was
that they
still
don't know.
patient, but
He was
he's
still
seen her
very,
3 or
very
4 more
patient.
times since then. He was a
Oh,
new
yeah.
judge at the time.
Yeah,
Now
I
that
remember,
same damn judge has had to see her monkey ass 3 or 4 times.
and I said it before, it was a stroke of
Sarah,
genius
you're right.
by our attorney to make us get on that plane from Texas to North Carolina. And he simply said,
Right,
I want this judge to see her in action. I want this judge to see her, and then I want to let him know, kind of get in his ear that, oh, by the way, she's got some bullshit she's going to throw about this divorce from him, that so you already know her playbook. And then we didn't even have to go back for the divorce. So that's another reason. Your attorney may not get you to listen to exactly what his motive is or exactly his technique. He's got you. That's what you pay for.
Reindeer, that's funny. Isn't that funny? She objected to the judge. The other thing, and Sean had prepared me for this, he was like, she will act syrupy sweet until the attorney says something that pisses her off.
And then her eyes will just
and
dilate.
she did. She tried to play the, I'm disturbed, I'm this, I'm that, I'm scared. And when the attorney really started going after, all of a sudden it was like shark eyes. And it's so funny because attorneys are so used to that. And then when they do that, they just kind of like lock in on it or whatever. But
and I'm pretty sure there was probably a moment there with Sam too, with that judge today. I think there was a time, because the way we understand it, Sam would start an exhibit and Clara's attorney would go, I object, and it would be sustained all the way through. At some point, she said, she got so frustrated with the judge continually sustaining the objection that Sam went, well, I don't have the money to get an attorney like Clara does. So, well, then why the hell are you here? Why are you here?
You're not scared of her. And she pissed you off.
Right.
You thought she was bluffing about the copyright. She wasn't. So then 2 days after you filed this bullshit, you got served with the copyright notice. And girl, she ain't done yet. So sit down and buckle up, because
and I say, and one more thing, I know I keep alluding, just go watch Tomahawk Sean. I say to this drama community that's starting to get,
Sarah,
this drama community of ours that is starting to get a little bit litigate crazy, sue crazy. Why are you mess with somebody that's a target that doesn't have the fiscal means to fight you?
Whether you like her, don't like her, no matter what the case is, she's starting to show you that if you fuck with her or negs, and she's got an attorney that says, yes, I can move forward with A, B, and C, she's gonna fucking do it.
She doesn't need a GoFundMe to try to raise money either.
She doesn't need people to pontificate on how much money
she has. What's up, Carlos?
Hey, Carlos.
Carlos, we're talking about how Sam Telfer got her buttocks
handed
to
that,
her by
Carlos?
DC Media Girl today in a court of law.
Yeah, she got shot down. I wish I had. If I could, I don't think you can get all of the exhibits. I think it's in like a portal or something. I wish I could. I would love to see all of the shit she submitted. To include, I'm gonna find the stream of ours that she submitted, and Sean and I are probably going to sit down and make a video and review it. Try to figure out what part of it she thought was admissible. We won't do it live. I'll probably do a video. And
is the one that went on the thumbnail. I'm wearing the Fleetwood Mac shirt. So I don't know I think I've only worn it once. Like I've worn Zeppelin.
I was in a white t-shirt and she was in it.
So the one that it can't be too far down the line. It just we don't do a ton of vlogs. I mean a ton of lives, maybe. When it was
submitted as an exhibit, I think that probably what the attorney said, because she's got to prepare for the case. But if I were to guess what the attorney said, she probably said, "I'm not going to sit. Thank you. We'll read out loud. I'm not going to sit here and watch these two."
She's talking about. She said my stream was on point, Sean. When you have a real life in the world with work and friends and family, you literally forget about online stuff. And just thank you for that.
That's
what I was trying to say. We'll shift gears a second. There are people that
I gotta find it,
that Mandi talks to, and every once in a while, and this happens, people get paranoid if you're friends with somebody that they might not be friends with, And you don't have to be. Mandi is never gonna betray somebody's trust that she's like talking to. And that was my frustration, is that when that happens, just we have a real life, and it's not worth, the stuff that people share with Mandi. It's not worth her integrity just to go blab about it to somebody else.
Right.
And
and I'll also say, like, in the past, I would just say, yeah, my mouth got me in trouble.
Right.
Don't hit me. I'm not going to get
Right.
into it. But
the point is,
but
is
you
that,
either believe me or you don't.
right. There are people that have shared way too much with somebody that they met on YouTube. They slide into each other's DMs, and you tell them sensitive stuff, and then you see what they do and how they operate, and you're afraid that if you go against them or you disagree, that they're going to drop stuff, and it's just, that's not something that Mandi's
I don't
gonna
worry
do.
about that. Yeah,
Mandi's
I
not gonna
don't
do
worry
that.
about that.
Yeah.
In fact, the first thing that I do when a friendship ends is I delete the thread. I've said this many, many times,
Yep.
and I don't DM. Right?
She doesn't.
I don't DM. Very rarely will I respond. I may see it, but I don't respond. And my friends know that I don't have constant DM because usually I know their number. So
Mandi's lost, you guys know, you guys were here when
Thank
Mandi
you.
lost a couple of people that, that she was developing a friendship with, and they decided to drop stuff. And Mandi's never was initiated anything like that. But, sometimes people do or say stuff you just can't take back. And that's a shame, But it's not you don't need to, most of the people that are in this chat, especially the mods, know that Mandi's.
And I'm not perfect, and I can be a piece of work, and I
Yeah.
know that. And I know that I have my part in every friendship that ends. I'm not saying that I don't. But I promise you, I'm not collecting information to share with other people.
Right.
I just am.
There's too much going on in our real life. That's what Reindeer was saying in her thing, is like, there's my life and all the hours I work in to generate what I need to for our private life. And YouTube is something that we met here as YouTubers.
Thank you.
I mean, we have an affection for this because
Presley, did I see it? I don't. Did you wait? Hold on.
did it come through that?
Did you send some? Hold on. I didn't see anything come through. I don't know. Did you say something? I didn't see it. I know you're going to have pizza. I saw
Hold on.
that.
She said, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" I have not.
I haven't seen anything. I'm scrolling up. I don't see. Oh, you can see my big hand on there. I don't.
Usually there'll be a notification that comes down, but
Well, no, I think she's talking about something in the chat.
Oh.
And I don't see anything.
I see Presley said, "Mandi, did you see it?" Let's go with the Presley's last comment.
Anyways.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, find it so we can respond to it. I usually only share what I can handle being shared against me. Thank you. Except my real that's like kind of I don't know. Like I said, when I say something, that's my answer. And you either can get past it, that's my answer, or you can't. But I can't keep revisiting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Red Reindeers. I don't see anything else that Presley said here, though.
Yes, well, I did send many. Yeah, no, but Stitchy, I do see what you send. It's not that. I'm just saying I don't have long, secretive conversations with people through DM. I like to hear the good things.
Typically for Mandi, and it's a good rule, I think, is if people are going to start wanting to share their personal lives, Mandi will give you her phone number. And then that's how that'll go.
I'm like, if you share it, then you share it.
There's never going to be something like a Discord drop, or like Discord is something that Mandi and I will never get into.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's too much shit that goes down.
There's too much. You see so many.
Oh, thank you, Presley. I had to go into my email. Thank you, Presley. Thank you so much. I was like, I didn't want to assume that's what it was, but
and our chickens will thank you.
Notification.
Did you guys know that? Thank you, Presley. We love you.
You shared him that. You showed him. We're getting that box of mealworms.
But I mean,
we're going to save the box and use it for Christmas. We're going to wrap someone's gift, and it looks like it's 11 pounds of mealworms.
At some point, we're going to have to. I don't know if you guys have seen a picture of them. Paula, do you know that Mandi got cockatiels for Valentine's Day?
She does. I told her.
It's
right. I'm hoping Presley's. Let me just write in here in case she's behind. Yes, I got cockatiels for Valentine's Day. They were little adopted cockatiels. and I'm building a stand. Sean has heard me cuss about it while I continue to. I'm actually filming my process of building it.
I'm going to tell you this though, Stitching. I always try to respond because you are a trove of information. Not necessarily with the stuff that's going on, but every once in a while there'll be like you drop.
She remembers.
Yes, she Stitching. You dropped a blast from the past in our DMs. Then I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm not going to say the name here. You can if you want, but that goes way back.
Have a good one, Presley. Thank you.
That goes way back.
Did you show me?
Yeah, when she
Shit to me, Lily? Oh, yeah. That was a blast from the past.
Yeah, so the Marla video was that you from years ago. Y'all remember Marla?
Wasn't she waiting for me to come on panel? Marla and I used to be cool. We're not cool. She's not around. I would go on her panel. I was one of our first panel people, and we would talk a little shit about the beast.
Yes.
But contrary to popular belief, I was not the biggest hater.
But Stitching is not gonna like give you a whole bunch of stuff that she may know about somebody, but she's just gonna drop links like, remember this video, and I like it. I said before, like if their YouTube had gone away and we couldn't get in touch with people, I would still want a way to DM Stitching because she's just dropped stuff.
And not only does she know OG stuff, she knows how to plant gardens. She knows about animals. Yeah. She has a doggy named Freya. We remember that because
Kaki's like, oh snap, y'all got my interest now.
Asked to get on the distro list.
Y'all remember?
Yeah, do y'all remember Miss Fairy Garden? We were talking today because she's infamous for, and she was trolling or not, because I do think he's very sexy, but remember when she sent like a message it was to him, right? Or was it in a comment?
She said,
I love to run on the beach. She was like, I don't know why she won't do what I would love to have a man like you. Do you remember when the beast fucking exploded? So that means she was in your DMs, right?
She was a Facebook friend. Because you know how it is. Like you said too, you like Facebook friend. I wasn't as diligent. You know, you get a Facebook friend and they're from North Carolina. It could have been someone that
she was a pretty lady.
And she had gotten into as a Facebook friend. So it was a Facebook post. It was a comment on a Facebook post.
Oh,
she went right in on that shit.
So she tracked your Facebook, the beast did?
Yeah. I mean, now I don't, it's not one of those things where it was like,
It was a comment though. It wasn't a message.
John and Mandi Jones, when people have the combined one. So it wasn't like that.
The OG, and for those of you who have common Facebooks, but whenever someone's name suddenly turns into like Mary and John Smith, where it didn't used to be, it's like someone messed up and they have to have a couples one. Up? But anyways, so there was this video. Sean doesn't like to necessarily talk about it, but he was woken up out of a dead sleep by the beast, and she said, tell these people that you don't like me that you respect me and you don't ask me to go down. That's how it started. And he didn't even know what the fuck she was talking about, but
I was out of a dead sleep.
Yeah. And he goes, I guess not, or whatever, talking about beach day. And so the next day, Sean did some sort of vlog like he used to kind of like spin it a little bit. And I put underneath it, I was like, dude, this was way before him and me. I was like, woman literally woke you up to have you tell her group that you don't whatever. And he was like, you need to turn in your man card.
She told me to turn in my man card. And I was like, what's a man card?
I was like, oh yeah, whatever. So anyway,
that's true.
When we got together, the first thing that people wanted to know is, has that been remedied? And Sean, has it been remedied?
Yes.
Okay. End of story. But that was what Marla was praying on, is that she said, if I were with you, that wouldn't be an issue. I would love to run on the beach. I think, what else did she say?
It was a whole comment that she kind of...
Good for you, Marla.
It was a whole comment.
Trolling
and it wasn't a... I think it was a comment. It was a comment on a Facebook post. It wasn't... I'm trying to remember if it was a fake... Because I didn't really do direct message on Facebook. I didn't know how to. So it was like a comment.
Yes.
And it was before Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Remember that? So It was way back. It was the condo days, so it was like 2017.
Oh my God!
It was pre-Dr. It was before Dr. Phil.
She hit the fucking.
She hit the roof, and I didn't even.
Isn't
I was
that when
like,
she went and filed something on both? I know the Becca thing got filed. Didn't she try to file something on her then?
She did file something
She tried
on
to
her.
file something on her then too.
But I can't remember what
Right,
she.
Karen?
And guess what happened? So Mandi went down and she filed something on Marla, and guess why it didn't go anywhere? Marla got a lawyer. She got an attorney, and they were going to go serve her, and she took it to an attorney, and it was like.
And it's not as expensive as you might think.
Not
It's
for
not
something
cheap,
like that.
but something that the attorney looks at it and goes, "I can do it for
Yep,
$600."
you know,
something
$600 bucks.
They're at the courthouse anyway, most
Right.
of the time.
You know, I'll submit this. It'll cost you $500, and I'll write this.
Yes,
I'll
Karen.
write a motion to dismiss based on whatever, and normally it does.
So the other thing to that was, do you remember when we went on Sunshine Sally's panel the first time? We had already come out as being together, whatever, and we went on her panel one night when we were still at the apartment. And Spike T, she went by Nana Knows Best then, right? That's what she used to go by.
Yeah.
Nana. She was there. She wasn't talking a lot, but you could see her, Abby. She was there. So she pops on towards the end and she says, "I've got a question." And it was like, okay. She goes, "That thing that TT said
I remember that.
she doesn't do what," and I was like, "Oh," I said, "I know what she's talking about." I said, yeah, that's fixed. And she went, "I don't know what man it is. If you say some shit like that when you're live or whatever, you better expect women to come for your man." And it was like,
that's kind of true.
she goes, "You say that shit, then don't be upset when women start coming for your man." And I was like, wow.
And there was a lot of people, I guess, that I didn't see. Like when that live stream
Wright?
happened, when she did that, I heard that they were just going crazy in the chat about.
It was insane. And I don't even know how I caught it because I think she took it down pretty. And she had a channel before this one that she deleted. So she had about 1,500 subs. That's way old days. And then when she deleted it because, you know, she's whatever. Then she started the one she's on now. How many did she have when she went to Dr. Phil? 3,000 maybe? About 3,000, something like that.
Yeah.
So there's an old channel that's gone,
Right.
that had most of this stuff on it. Because
Yep.
when I am not a Dr. Phil hanger on her. I've been watching since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I had no idea that this is, you know.
If you look at what Dr. Phil is like a
Yes.
kind of a bookmark, and
Right.
it's a benchmark in the community, you know, in
Yes.
the drama community. It was a benchmark, like when that pre and post.
Yeah.
But after that, I mean, there was just no capitalization on that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's just a
Reindeer,
thing that happened.
The condo days were epic. That's when most of the shit went down. And when the storm destroyed the condo, I was one of the ones that were like, they finally got evicted. They got tired of their bullshit.
Yeah.
And it was. Then Sean does. You look. Remember when you were on the beach and showed all that stuff?
Oh, it was during a hurricane, wasn't it?
Yeah. When that was the dirty side of Irma.
The dirty side
I
of
was
Irma.
like-
It's still up, yeah.
I thought when I saw the first video he ever made, I was like, well, I'll be damned. She's got herself an intelligent, and he just may be an officer. When he did the breaks to silence or whatever. And then like I would watch, but it just never occurred to me because I thought you'd be tied up in that forever,
Yeah.
and I'd be tied up in that forever, and it would be. But you were nice looking.
Was I?
You're very handsome. You still are.
Nice. I say this guy, thank you, baby. When I look at my phone and
Yes.
I look at Mandi like this at my phone, she looks fantastic, and I'm always looking over going.
So do you.
It's right here. And she's right there. She's right there.
Hey,
Sawyer Brown.
We're pretty crazy about each other. We can be assholes, but the one thing that you can guarantee is that what did we make? Oh, y'all remember his baseball card story that he told on his vlog? If you haven't seen it, you'll see it. So, but I was gonna tell him about the picture.
Yeah, tell him.
So when they were freaking out about this picture, I took a picture of, they were stocking baseball cards, and we got our Georgia State refund from a year ago. Somehow Georgia
How
just
crazy
now got
is
it
that
to
right now? Last year's.
So we were like, what could we do with this to be responsible? Baseball cards and nails. You know what I
Let's
mean?
get our nails done, baseball cards, and get
So I
something
took a picture and I said, well, will you look at this? And I took a picture, and there was the backside of the worker in the distance, and they were stocking baseball cards. irrelevant about the worker.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, look, they're starting. So then this whole conversation goes on. He posted this one guy saying weird things, and he keeps doubling down saying it's
I can
creepy.
show him the picture.
No, it's not. Well, no,
Yeah,
it's
you know.
creepy. Well, you can. That's fine. It's creepy. It's this. And there was this whole. How many? There's like 100 comments now, right?
Oh, there's way more than 100.
So I went.
I'll show you all the picture.
I was like, okay, well, I have another picture in the phone, and I had taken a picture one day at Walmart where this girl literally, and she was proud of it. It was a large girl, and she was wearing Harley Quinn booty shorts, a crop top, and something else. So it was, so I put randomly in this thread, I go, well, what about this picture? Same Walmart. And that's not the point. But when Sean started laughing, he laughed so hard he was crying. I showed him what I was doing. He laughed so hard he was crying, and that just made my day. Because
So this is what the post looks like right here. That's the post. So look at that person.
That's all he showed. That's all he showed.
So if you look at the picture, that's the picture that they were bitching about.
So this guy is saying it's a young teenager. It's what you can't even tell if it's
There's 215 comments.
215 comments.
So it's whatever. And there was a few people that were liked his comment, and his whole point is how creepy is it if someone's trying to do their job?
And he got kind of descriptive about, I can just picture you sitting there doing whatever, and it was like, oh my.
So it got to the point where
other people joined.
Yeah, because it's got like 95 thumbs up for a Facebook post. So they start.
It's good to
this
see
guy is like,
media.
it's this, and I'm like, look, dude. Hey, Clara, congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
It was a no-brainer, but
I vlogged on it, not about it specifically, but I did a vlog on Tomahawk
it's
Sean for y'all.
It's a Walmart worker from behind.
Right, you can't tell.
That was not even the point.
She said from behind. But so this guy was like, so finally I was like, dude, if this is something that's gonna, identify somebody, or I would take it down, or the admins of this, page would definitely kept going on and on. So finally the other people just converged on him.
Show me the picture I posted and
Yeah.
So I was like, if they really, and there's like a whole website called The People of Walmart. It's just not that serious. And so then I go, and I have the same last name, obviously, so I knew that they would get it. And I said, well, how about this picture? It's the same Walmart.
If I can find it.
It may be too far down. There
it is. So Mandi posted this picture.
And I said, how about this picture? I said, same Walmart. What about that? And people were like, oh my God. Yeah. My point, because that was the thing. The other point was I took the picture. He didn't take the picture, but it turned into this. I
never, because of my experience in the YouTube community with this, I didn't tell him I didn't take the picture. He was like getting on to me. You took this picture. And I was like, basically, I was like, there's nothing wrong with it.
You've never seen a weird person stitching? Oh, yeah. There's
and it got to the point where the other people who really wanted to see what my baseball cards were like, hey, dude, shut up for a minute. We won. And then they were on to him going, that's a weird fucking flex, dude. Why are you grandstanding? You don't know who this person is. You can't see their face. You have no idea what their age is.
You don't have to be. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, and it, there was a few people that would agree.
You haven't either?
There was a few people that agreed with them that, hey, I would be uncomfortable if I was doing my job somewhere and someone came up and took a picture. Okay, that's fair enough. This guy started, using words like teenage girl and underage and blah, 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 and creepy. And it was like, dude, it's not. But I not.
Stitching Walmart.
I'm not
people of Walmart.com. Go ahead.
But I wasn't going to back down, and it was so, it wasn't that deep. But I was like, no. And I kept saying, whatever, there's whole websites of this stuff. He was trying to post law about, privacy. And so the rest of the 200 other people that were trying to see the thread, they just converged on the guy. Yeah. They were like, dude, you're weird. Shut the fuck up. Anyway.
Yeah. And then it was funny because one of the things that he said was very descriptive. And so Sean was like, he put in there, he goes, be very careful. So-and-so gets very descriptive.
Yeah, because if you go up, he's like, well, I just think it's creepy. You're probably standing 5 to 10 feet behind her with a creepy smile touching yourself. And I'm like, bro, those are your words. Where did that come from? So, I use my experience on YouTube This guy had no idea what he was getting
He was
into,
like,
and
it's like we're from a whole drama
Yeah,
community.
this-
you are
mean,
where you're ripe for the picking.
we come from the YouTube streets. Anyway, then once everyone else converged on him, I went to bed.
It was funny.
And then the next day there was, you guys could go in there.
But
there
all
was
of
like
that
all
was
these
to
comments.
say-
The guy would never backed off.
When I put that picture in there, Sean started laughing so hard.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
crying. I've never seen him laugh that hard. And you know, when you make your husband laugh like that, or gentlemen, when you make your wife laugh like, there's nothing like being able to do that. You know what I mean?
It was pretty crazy though.
Because I was like, what about this picture? And it was that crazy one. And they can see I'm related to him. We've got
Right.
the same last name or whatever. So, yeah, Karen, I kind of think he was trolling too. Sean thinks maybe not so much, but I think
That
he
guy
was
was?
trolling. Yeah.
Well, he was.
first-
No, see what happens with channels like
Right,
that. You got a lot of.
Reindeer? It was
this
crazy.
This is a mostly female environment. Those Facebook groups are mostly males.
Yeah.
And it's about baseball card collecting. And so there's real snarky stuff. Like people think that it's a fake picture that they're putting up, that they don't really have the card. They get on to people for what cards they select. I mean, it's a
whole
bunch of
thing.
mostly upper middle class men in their 50s that most of us don't have the money to spend that we'd like.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of contempt when somebody has a nice card. It's
Yeah.
real snarky. They wouldn't come close to the.
We probably could have done any number of things with it, but I had no idea. I had just given up on that state refund. I thought, well, maybe
Yeah.
we did it wrong, maybe whatever. And then it showed up, and I was like,
Yeah, but after about it, and Mandy was, talking to me about stuff, and I'm in this little thread. She was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "This guy has no idea. I come from the YouTube streets,
yeah, we
and
eat our own here.
And then I got him going, and
Alice Dark is live.
oh yes,
That's perfect for when.
so
you're
I got
about
him
to jump
going, and then I just turned it over to the other unsuspecting stands that were there, and that was
on.
my
Right,
work
Reindeer
was
says, "Are you
done.
sure it's just not your ex pretending to be someone else just to make your life a pain? Anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
We're safe in Georgia. That's where we want to be. The
Anyway.
Yeti stays in North Carolina. We stay in Georgia with our chickens."
And to wrap it up, Sam, you are dumber than I thought you ever were. To everybody in the chat, it's just another example that if you're going to litigate against somebody, especially an EPO, get an attorney. Get an attorney.
So they can tell you if you look like a dumbass.
Yep.
Unless
and don't
it's
get
Manning,
Lisa. Don't.
then
don't,
you're still gonna look like a dumbass.
Don't get Lisa Manning because Negs was able to be pro se and beat them. It's just sometimes this is why I hang out. You just when you think you see it all, you see somebody like Telfer who is. She just had to be so high she didn't
Sarah
know.
says sweet. Yeah, that
She had to be so high that she didn't understand how stupid it was.
get better weed.
Yep.
Yeah, you lost. See, Karen keeps it simple. Sam, you lost.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you happen to have the misfortune of being in the same area as her and you talk shit about her, she will try to do some dumb shit. Name, image, likeness.
That's what it is. And then into
He knows it from sports.
some
Explain
sports.
it.
So yeah, we'll hold on for a couple minutes here. About 2 years ago, amateur athletes were not supposed to be able to
College.
earn money. Yeah, earn money on their name, image, and likeness. It was amateur status. As soon as you did that, as soon as you hired an agent, as soon as you were in an ad for a commercial, you were no longer able to be in the sport. Now you could be a baseball player and you could still play football, but anyway, the point is,
And it was mainly
you've got
college
teams like
players.
Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, all these schools where these kids are making the universities, the NCAA, billions and billions of dollars on
they
their
can't make
performance.
money off.
It got to the point where even the video games, like PlayStation games, the NCAA games, they took them off because that was they rated the people as fairly as they could and put them on the game. They took that down. There's a new one coming out because of it. So a couple years ago, they passed major legislation so that amateur athletes can make money off their name, image, and likeness. And there's a lot of people that don't like it. But really, if you think about it, these kids are, it keeps them in school longer.
Yes.
If you've got somebody that's not really quite ready to go pro, he needs one more, maybe 2 years to polish his craft at a big school like Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State or whatever. but he needs to take care of his family. He's his whole idea. He has been working hard his entire young life, 20-year-old or whatever, so that he can go and he can be a professional ball player and take care of his family. And if he blows his knee out, he's done. If he isn't quite ready to go to pro and he takes one contract and he's not ready to make what his potential is because of his needs, they'd go pro early. This keeps people, young men and women, because I think Caitlin Clark from Iowa is the top earning NIL player.
But it doesn't only apply to athletes.
Right. But I'm just saying.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm using it as a benchmark for athletics. So people like Stetson Bennett, who was Georgia's quarterback.
He's in his element, guys.
Yeah. He was never going to make a ton of money in the NFL. But he stayed in college an extra year and made $1.2 million in NIL. There's other people that would never make as much money once they get out as they are right now as college athletes. I think it's great.
I do too.
And
it's something that was put into place that this is the example of what this one. But if you take someone's likeness and you sell merchandise with their picture on it, or you prayer candles or whatever it is, and you use their face to sell, they get some of the cut.
Right.
That's just the law.
I just think that somebody who's really close to his college degree, which is a tertiary thing for college, blue chip college athletes who want to go pro, they stay an extra year. If they're going to knock back $500,000 or $600,000 in NIL, it's worth it for them to stay in school and get their degree. I think it's a good thing.
It was. Stitching, you are not mean. You are very nice. But thank you, mods.
So go to Rumble, guys.
Melinda, have a good night.
Go to Rumble. Look at Paula's Rumble. Look at DC Media Girls Rumble. Look at Moxie's Rumble.
Look at your vlog.
Look at my vlog. I'm not on Rumble yet, but I might. Go do that. Give them a look. And congratulations to our friend DC Media Girl for her. It's just the tip of the iceberg. I know, but it's good. Keep smacking
Sean
that
always
one
said,
around.
pretty soon
someone's gonna show up.
She said some asshole who's got the money to do it.
Who's got the ways and the means to do this is gonna come along.
Is gonna shut it down
and set a precedent. So maybe we're seeing that. Peace, guys.
Thank you, mods, for your support too. Thank you, just being here.
Thank you,
guys.
Presley, for the PayPal.
Hey, Mama Ricky.
Hey, Mama Ricky.
Nice to see you. Good to see Andy. Cousin Andy is also pops in with Paula and Moxie. That's Sean's cousin Andy. He's been around for a while.
Life.
He knows
he's met everybody. He's met Mandi. He knew my ex-wife. He has his own channel you can check out here on YouTube. He's got great commentary.
And Sean was in a band with him.
Yes, a long time ago.
Didn't make it.
You might see Andy a little bit more on Paula's streams, but he is my cousin. He's my blood, and he has stories.
He has stories.
He does.
Y'all should do some story times.
We should.
Sean might do a story time sometime, like night in jail. It's not something he likes to talk about, but it is a story time. I didn't know all of the details.
Also on Rumble, Negs. That's Clara's better half. He has a Rumble too with his negative. Is he still do Negative Nation or is he just Negs? He's on Rumble too.
The Godfather.
Yes. NEGZ or The Godfather. He is on Rumble too. Check him out. And
Sean's met him in real life. They hung together in real life. Have a good night.